Hey, y'all. It's Fix It with Fran, where I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun. It is actually like 3 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, December 30th. And I figured I would go ahead and record this because I realized, too, it's the last Thursday of the month, I believe. And I hadn't done one of my Thursday thoughts in a while. So let me set the scene for you. I am upstairs in my chill space, also known as one of our guest rooms. I am here because last night around, I don't even know, it might have been like 9, 10 o'clock, Monica started screaming. She was in bed, she had been asleep. She woke up, she started screaming for me. So I come upstairs. And when I get to her room, in the time that I walked from a master downstairs, upstairs, get to her room, she was back asleep and snoring. So Brandon was doing, I don't know, an assignment for school or working on a project or something. So I just said, let me just lay down in here because I figured she would wake back up. Nah, homegirl decided to sleep the whole night. So here I am nonetheless. And I got here and I woke up just now. Also, again, checking her monitor to be like, oh, she's going to wake up. And how proud I am. So here I am. Can't say bright-eyed or bushy-tailed. But yeah, I was thinking with my thoughts and I was like, oh, wait, it's the last Thursday of the month. When's the last time you did a Thursday thought? I don't even know. So that made me push the record button. It's a lot going on. I don't know what it is, and maybe it's just me, but I've said before, like on Fix It With Fran page, which I am trying to finalize the retrieval of that page. I think what has happened is that I had my Fix It With Fran Facebook page originally, which has almost like 800 followers, linked to my Instagram. So I logged back into the Facebook business page and then it showed that it came up. I even did something one day where I don't know if I made a post from Facebook that actually connected from the page to the Instagram or whatever. But I think that's the only reason that my Fix It With Fran Facebook page was not fully lost, was that it was still linked on the back end to Instagram. So at first I had gone in, couldn't get it to come up under my personal Facebook page. And I was like, what's going on? What's going on? And my husband, Brandon, was actually one that was like, try logging into the Facebook business or the Facebook pages, what it used to be, manager. And I had tried that before actually, and it didn't work. It still said that like the links were inactive, or whenever I would try to do something, it would come up and not connect. So I got to finish that and figure that part out. But I was also thinking about the whole pregnancy loss piece. Like I hadn't really talked about it in a while. So for the folks that connected with me on this channel, because you are also dealing with pregnancy loss, it's not that I don't think about it. Like I told somebody, I think about it every single day. Like when I wake up and think about Monica, I now also think about these other babies. And I was grateful. I was literally sitting here and just kind of really having a moment of gratitude with God for me, my faith as a Christian in God. Because I know the struggle that this year has been, and I accept that struggle for everything that it is and was and may continue to be. But I was grateful, again, to kind of be on the other side of that mountain of grief and that process where I can see, at least for now, where it's like I've gone and I've climbed and I've gotten to the apex of that mountain, the highest point of that mountain. And now I'm descending and going down that opposite side. And even in the moments and waves where grief comes, it's not like knee bending, overwhelming, all consuming grief. Like I have moments where I look at Monica and I can see her playing and I can think, oh, what would it have been like to have had 2 kids right now or 3 kids right now? And I'm okay. I acknowledge that I don't have them physically here with me, but I still have them with me. And sometimes tears flow and it's okay because it's still a lot to acknowledge. But then too, sometimes tears flow because I'm not as sad as I used to be when I would think about it. And I acknowledge that owning the loss and owning those feelings has made my life that much more full. And I'm trying to think of the best way to put it, because again, never to make light of this situation, never to be like, oh, well, this happened to me in the same year. And I feel like, hey, stop playing. Like, for the first loss that I ever had, like in 2016, that nobody knew about. Like, I picked up and I carried on and I kind of shook it out. But I still remembered that. Like, I still had moments when I would just feel so alone and so isolating. So I can also be grateful that kind of doing these vlogs and talking about it and putting words to a lot of the feelings that I had that had gone unspoken for so long has helped a lot. Whether anybody watches this or not, has helped a lot for me. Because like I said, I went for so long where I wouldn't say anything. And I didn't even want to acknowledge it. I didn't know how to acknowledge it. To acknowledge loss from a chemical pregnancy in a world where people don't even talk about chemical pregnancies all that much. It's just like, wait, is this even a thing? Like, I guess I shouldn't feel bad because, other people have it so much worse. Other people have lost babies that they knew were there and they could feel moving, yada yada. Now I've experienced that. And for me, as someone who has experienced both and who can own that ish of I've experienced it both, I can say there was part of me that thought, oh yeah, it's not as bad to have just had a chemical pregnancy versus having a loss at almost 20 weeks. Yeah, there's one part of me that feels like, oh, the previous experience wasn't as bad. It wasn't as hurtful. It wasn't as much. And then there's another part of me that's like, nope, that loss feels like a loss, feels like a loss, feels like a loss. So if you're somebody that's watching that's dealing with that, I share that again so that you feel less alone, so that you feel less crazy. So you can have, to me, when somebody says something ground truth, it's like it stabilizes and centers and kind of makes you realize that no, you're not crazy. You're not gaslighting yourself. Like, you have real valid feelings that are not just how you're feeling. Like it's almost like if you talk to enough people, you would see it kind of a consensus of, yeah, it gets real. But like I said, and I don't know, I've logged lots of these videos. I'm gonna post this one, despite the fact that I sound froggy, despite the fact that it's not the best lighting, because this is a part of the process, at least for me and for this. Vlogmas has been wild. I really didn't think I was going to be able to do a video every day or edit old content every day or have something that I felt like was worth sharing or worth saying to the world. It's made me look at myself. And again, I told y'all I can make a bottle cap deep. Like, it really made me think about myself and my content and what I wanted to share, and made me very intentional. Now, some stuff, like I said, was from the archives because I wanted y'all to see, like, when I started doing this YouTube stuff, especially as a product reviewer, I was just recording. I won't say just recording stuff, but I didn't complicate it. I really kept it simple. I recorded what I needed to record. I got on here. Just like now, I started to make myself really slow down because I definitely didn't want any of these companies or groups that I was doing reviews for to be like, well, it's a great video, great content, but we can't understand you. Because again, I was doing these videos trying to get them done and just wanting to kind of put a pin in it and move on to the next thing. But yeah, Vlogmas was good for me in that it really helped streamline a lot of my thoughts. It also prevented a lot of procrastination where it's like, push the button, girl, get it together, get it where you live. and post, edit and post. I have spent more time, in many cases, editing videos. I apologize and I will acknowledge like there was instances where I still need to go back and add chapters like I was doing. So that's one thing that sometimes is a little more time consuming too and harder to do is that when you're putting out content literally every single day, I'm gonna tell y'all, don't expect that going forward. We're gonna go back to like that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every other day, splash y'all in some Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, we're not gonna continue doing every day going forward. That's a big commitment. And I am not a full-time YouTuber at this point. Okay. I still have jobs that I need to go do. And I'm a mama. So yeah, I'm just laying here thinking, and that's something for me that really keeps life balanced is, yeah, I may have to run around with Monica. I may still think about these other babies, but even when I do think about them, I say, okay, God, I am here and they are not. So what is the purpose in this? What is it that in your plan of knowing me from beginning to end, of predestining my steps, said this will be good for her? I ask God every day, help me see that. Help me understand that. Help me get through this. Because like I said, it's not always easy. But I also ask God, if they can't be with me, I want my life to be that much more fulfilled until I see them again. Whew, probably gonna cry now. Monica is this unique little kid. And I thank God that I have her in my life. Because despite being two, despite being stubborn, despite making me remember some of the things I probably did and said as a kid where my parents were like, girl, you something else. Monica looked at me the other day, which literally was like yesterday or the day before, like within the last 2 days. And I was putting her shoes on after she spent the whole morning not wanting to get dressed and fighting me. And she patted me on the shoulder and she said, Mommy, you're doing a good job. And that thing, just like I'm now, and that thing broke me in a way where I was crying and trying to be quiet so she didn't hear me crying or think she said something wrong. I needed that. Because in that moment, like I said, she was being stubborn. She didn't want to put her shoes on. We had to have conversations for a good 15 minutes to get her to get dressed for school. And when she said, Mommy, you're doing a good job, and literally patted me on my shoulder, patted me on my back, I was trying so hard not to be mean to her, not to raise my voice. And again, for my conscious parenting folks, if I just pat me on the back like that, it's like, okay, God, you knew I needed that. But also, there's so many moments where the grief may come, our wave may hit. Excuse me, y'all getting the real. And I'll say, Monica does something, or says something, or gives me a hug, or sits down and puts her hand on my shoulder. And it does make me feel a lot less alone. But that's part of the process of parenting after having a loss, pregnancy loss of a child when you still have another child with you. It could just be me again, making a bottle cap deep, but I do feel like God really uses her a lot to help ease that wound and ease those losses. And I'm grateful. God, I'm grateful. Because I don't know what this experience would be like without her. Go ahead. My Thursday thoughts, my thoughts this morning. A lot of times just waking up and having some time where I just have some quiet time to myself. And just let God know that I'm grateful, even in the midst of everything that could be going on in life. Yeah, let's see. I have one one nail that's missing. Another, I need to redo my nails before the new year. So I may try to do that if I can get the rest of my time in before Monica wakes up. My nose is stuffy now. Hold up. Pause for the cause. All right. So I did stop to blow my nose, but even with this, like if Monica were to see me right now, if she saw me crying, if she saw me saying, are you okay? Are you all right? It's okay, Mama. And I look at my husband now and I go, do 2-year-olds do this? Is this normal for a 2-year-old? We don't know. And I'm not the early child educator. That's my sister, one of my good friends. I'm the social worker. So I need to look back through my stuff to be like, wait, do kids have this level of empathy and awareness and observation at 2? And she'll sit down and she'll pat you, you all right? You okay? And that's her voice as I imitate it. But so much joy. She brings so much joy. And yeah, the process is a process that I'm still going through it, but I'm grateful. And I think too, just having these moments, having made up my mind in this, like I said, to seek God for purpose, to seek God for plan in this, to seek God for peace with this, because it's one of those things you can't change it. It has happened. It is what it is, as folk like to say. But I don't have to sit in that thought of, oh, like I said, I'm one of those people that believes in questioning God and continuing to seek God for answers and wanting to know, like, I may not get, oh, this, and technically why this has happened. But even in some moments, like our lives being so busy, my husband being in school, while I look and I say, God, one child for right now is a blessing, because I can't even fathom or fully understand what it would have been like to be shuffling around 2 and 3 kids right now on days where it's just me, or it's me with a little bit of help. So again, to have the peace and contentment with where I am, and y'all, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes doing the work and getting there, and sometimes sitting in the grief and feelings. As someone who has worked hospice and been a grief counselor, like it doesn't necessarily matter. Again, not in a dismissive way. When you're dealing with grief and the grief gets heavy, having lost a loved one, having lost close family, having lost relatives, having lost friends, there's grief. And when you sit with it and deal with it versus brushing it off, like, it's kind of like being a little kid learning to ride a bike. It's one thing when you're just not getting on the bike, so you're not falling and you're not getting hurt. But when you do actually start to learn how to ride a bike and you take those tumbles, at some point you pick up that bike or you handle it still knowing that there's a chance that the bike might be too much for you that day. And as much as you're accustomed to it, feel like you've learned that it could overwhelm you. That's my thought of like dealing with grief. Some days it's risk involved, and some days you just don't know everything you're gonna have with it. Are you gonna be able to keep your balance? Are you gonna be able to hold yourself up? Are you gonna be able to really grip those handlebars and face it head on? Or is it gonna be that day where it upsets your step a little bit? You lose your balance, you tilt over. I'm very big on analogies, y'all, and I will see an analogy through to the end. But even if that happens, there's different equipment you have. You got your own band-aids of life and dealing with grief. You got some Neosporin you can rub on it. Some friends who might help you pick up your bike and sit it to the side. Like, we're going to get through it. And I say we because I'm still in it with you. And then there's the fullness of life. Like, I didn't want these losses to make me forget that life is so full. I sent my husband a message yesterday, probably a text, and just was like, I am so grateful for our little life. Like, we have a good little life. It ain't big, it ain't boisterous. We don't have to have a lot going on. Like, it's just peaceful. And I'm grateful to have a life in a relationship in a family where ain't a lot of drama going on. We keep it to ourselves. We do what we need to do. It's good. Life is good. That's what future. Yeah, life is good. I ain't wearing no red bottles. I gotta be. Life is good. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. I will probably post this at some point. I did not even, because I was dealing with everything with Monica. This hair needs to be brushed. My hair is up in like a pony knot. But yesterday, this hair was getting on. I also want to say getting on my nerves. It was just like the moments of realization of like, wow, this hair is long, and I went to put my hair up in a ponytail. Only to realize the ponytail was still touching my neck. And I really didn't want anything touching me. So yeah, I will get up, try to finish my nail, brush this hair. So it's still there. It's yet holding on ponytail wise. And Micah likes to restyle my hair, so that's a whole nother thing. But yeah. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope y'all have enjoyed the ride that Vlogmas has been for us. We got one more day left. I think I will come back. No, I have a video that I've already recorded for Friday, which is Friday even still December. I don't even know. But more content will be coming. More videos will be coming. I will be doing at some point that review of those 6 sparkling nights that I told y'all that I was going to be looking at when I did my live on Sunday. Try to come at y'all on Thursday with some. No, today's Thursday. Yes, sorry. Today's Thursday. At first I thought I was going to do some thrifting stuff, but no, I'll post that on Friday. I don't know what's happening the rest of the week. Oh, I still owe y'all the winners for the giveaway. Sorry, y'all. Monday night, went to the football game. By the time I got home, it was almost midnight. It's like I'm not recording a video or going live. But I will be announcing the giveaway winner soon. And I have decided to do another giveaway in February. So if you're watching this and you watch to the end, you got the heads up. Stay on the channel, stay connected, stay active. I've decided to do another giveaway in February. And I may do multiple cards again. And one of the giveaways will be to my most active subscribers. So people that comment on the links, people who share the links, people who do all that stuff. I want to reward y'all because y'all have been holding it down. As this channel continues to grow, like we're getting up in the hundreds of people. Before, I think the last time I started a giveaway, we were under 200. That number has doubled. We definitely had some significant growth in subscribers. So again, welcome y'all. To the folks who are watching this, like what? Like I am a person who has also had pregnancy loss and experienced pregnancy losses, chemical pregnancies, pregnancy losses when I was like later than 15 weeks, pregnancy losses before the 8-week mark. So I talk about that some on this channel. I want to say limited a little bit, but I don't want it to be the totality of what I talk about because it's not the fullness or it's not everything that my life consists of, but it is something that is a part of me and my experience. So again, share that here because I'm keeping it real with y'all, sharing some real mom girl-ish, and that's part of it. So I will be talking more about gardening. I did share some things earlier this week. Usually I have my What's Growing Wednesday, Thursday Thoughts, Fix It Fridays, Saturday Solutions, just Saturday Shopping, Sunday Sit Down, Monday Mommy Moments, Test It Tuesday. So yes, I am a person who loves some alliteration, and I kept that literary device with me from like back in elementary school. So that's kind of where the names and things. And I mix in a lot of other different stuff too. I'm a Carnival cruiser. I cruise out of the Port of New Orleans. I travel. I do other things. I'm a thrifter, Goodwill, red, white, and blue, stuff like that. I like finding good deals. I am definitely a deal hunter. So if you're along for the ride, new to the channel, you will see a lot more about that. But yes, I'm also a person who loves giving. And I know I got that from my maternal grandmother. She was very much a giver, a gift giver, but she was also very money wise, frugal, saving, wise spender. So that's why all of these elements of me, my life, and my history come together on this channel. So just being me. So I, again, want to wish y'all a happy new year. In advance, if this is the only video that you see of mine before the new year, keep an eye out because I'm going to try to time the giveaway that I want to do in February for around Valentine's Day. So yeah, I'm going to get up, try to fix this nail and do some stuff before Monica gets up, get this hair together because I need to brush it since it was just under a bonnet, not under a scarf. But those are my Thursday thoughts for right now, y'all. Just grateful for a new year. Grateful to have made it through all of the challenges and what might have been perceivable setbacks that this year presented. But remembering that all things work together for the good. Those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. That's scripture. That's a scripture, again, that I've stood on for a long time, a very long time. There's scripture, I think in Jeremiah 29:12 says that you'll seek me, and when you seek me with your whole heart, you'll find me. That's a lot of what I do. That's a lot of what I mean when I say I seek God for answers. I look to God for answers because I tell God, I was like, you promised me if I came to you and I looked for you, I would find you. I'm looking for you. I need to find something. I need to find a meaning and understanding. So that's where we are. Happy tears, but tears nonetheless, but still happy tears. Tears that have really centered themselves in knowing that in the end, when it's all said and done, I'll understand it better by and by. And I pray the same for you, especially if you're dealing with a challenging season in life, especially if you're looking at everything that's gone on in 2021 and 2020 and you don't know how you feel about 2022. That's my prayer for you. So if this was helpful, if you like this kind of content, this is probably my most real and raw content that you will get. Please do like, share, subscribe, stay connected to the channel, and know that if nobody else is here for you, if you don't feel like you have a sounding board, a listening ear, an empathic person who gets this pregnancy loss experience, now you got me. God has brought us together for a reason, season, maybe even a lifetime. But as I always say, this is Fixing with Fran, where I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun. I truly do believe God has given us all gifts and talents that can fix some problem that exists in the world. And while we may not be able to fix everything, I do believe, I want to encourage you, tell you for the first time, if you're new to this channel, that we can all fix something. Until next time, I pray that you will find that thing and fix it. I'll check in with y'all later. And Happy New Year in advance if you don't see any more videos. Bye.